Hi, today we're going to talk about another variation of the C language. Yesterday we talked about C++ object-oriented language. Today we're going to talk about another object-oriented language which is also a variation of C. It's called C and the pound sign, but we call it C sharp, and it belongs to the Microsoft .NET framework. Framework is a collection of objects and classes for a particular project. You can use it for projects. And before you watch this, I would advise you can watch the C videos, Java videos, C++ videos. All are like beginner level now. If you watch all those and then watch this, you will understand it much better. But you can watch this and go back and forth. There's a link between all the videos. Okay, let's see, why do we need C sharp? For the last 20 years, 30 years, game development is a game-changing thing in the world. Everybody loves games. So how to develop the games? Now there is all these apps, game apps and everything. All ages like to play games. How do we develop the games? What is the software used? C sharp is used to develop the games. One of the languages used to develop games is C sharp. And for mobile apps, some mobile apps which are not games but mobile game apps too. And desktop apps. Apps means applications. All of you might be familiar with applications by now. Apps, everything is apps now. Web apps, web applications. And this is an example of a C pound program. The latest version is C pound 11. The versions grow like every day, you got to keep updated so that you'll have the latest bug fixes and new features you can use in your programs. Each language has a different syntax, some may be similar. This is the program of the C sharp using system. In all these languages, they are very particular about the lowercase and uppercase. So when you see a variable, this is the variable. When you see this text, you should see how to indent or put which one capital letters, which one is small letters. See capital using system. This is all lowercase. This is capital S, YSTEM, semicolon. Namespace. So when you see namespace here, what are the languages that use namespace? Yesterday I talked about the C++ introduction, similar object-oriented language. They use namespace. Great C, that's the name. Curly braces, this block of code. Within that there is a class. I told it's an object-oriented program. So when I say objects, classes, inheritance, encapsulation, all these come under here, attributes, values. I'll explain about the other things later, but attributes, values, objects, classes, that's all you need to know now. Class, program, means program is an object, curly braces, this block. See, there is a block outside, there is a block here, there is an inner block. And then static void main. Main is the method here. In C language, we call main as a function. Here it's a main method which has a string with arguments. When you see square brackets, it's arguments. When you see curly braces, it's the block of code. And ARGS means arguments. So the third block here says console. This is capital C. Remember this why I'm telling you, I'll tell later. Capital C, ONSOLE dot, capital W, RITE, capital L, INE. I'm saying great C sharp, that's the C pound sign, that's the text I want to print. When you execute this program in a C sharp compiler, you'll get this output, great C pound. Let's keep it on this side. We'll talk more about why we need C sharp, where we use C sharp. For database apps, database applications, meaning applications that select, insert, update, delete from the database or multiple databases, Oracle, SQL Server. There are a lot of different databases available. And it's used for manipulating the data. First thing. Second one, VR, virtual reality. When you talk about games and virtual reality, it's kind of conjunction, both go together. So you can create great apps for VR. You can create some websites meaning websites, apps, web services. I'll put another video about what is a web service. It's a web service is something to do a collection of some objects, for a particular project. And one advantage of C# is you can reuse the code. When you talk about reuse, it means we are reusing the library of functions, like Java library. In Python, we use JavaScript libraries, Java libraries. By the way, you can look into my JavaScript intro video, because C++, JavaScript go with this, C language. And if you have time, look into my database videos. It gives an intro about all the different types of databases, relational, hierarchical database. Coming back to here, how do we develop this program? Where to put the code, So that's text editor. Usually we use text editor, and then next switch to you need IDE. I talk about IDE means Integrated Development Environment. Everything is put together so that a web developer can develop faster, compared to 5 years ago. So some IDEs, Eclipse, NetBeans or some available. Here we use probably Visual Studio, because it's Microsoft, part of Microsoft. And here we talk about namespace similar to the C++. And what is a namespace? Namespace is a container that holds classes, other namespaces. It's kind of nested. I want to relate this to the example I gave here. What is system? System is a namespace. It contains classes and namespaces inside. So when you come here, namespace and then program. Let's see, there should be a console. Console is a namespace. So you got one namespace inside a namespace. That's why it's called nested. This is nested block. Block 1, block 2, block 3. Every statement should end with semicolon. Let's come over here. Okay, we talked about namespace, classes. What is a class? Objects and other things. Or class is a container. See, you have a container inside a container, you have a namespace inside a namespace. So a class will have objects, meaning data, methods, lot of methods. Okay, what is a method? Again, I link here, main is a method. So this method has all these blocks. A method will have other methods, it will have functions, function 1, function 2, it will have statements. So these are the statements. I said main is the method which has statements. Here it has one statement. And I want to talk about the right line, capital W, capital N. That's the indentation used by C#. And some other things are also using indentation. Python uses indentation. Okay, look at here, curly braces, start of the code. Curly braces end is end of the code, all the blocks. And some things to remember here is C# is case sensitive. Only some languages are case sensitive, and C# is case sensitive. This is a brief introduction about what C# is, So by the end of this video, you will understand how it links to the other languages. And in the coming videos, I'll give more examples about C#. I am planning to put together a video about all the languages in one video, just to get a quick understanding, It will help in your job interviews and other things. Okay, bye.